$5 super chat. Trent Dilfer was also good enough to win a Super Bowl, so that's not saying much. See, here's my actual issue. My grandpa has been most of his career. He's had elite talent, solid Ds. He sometimes had solid Ds, defenses. Sounded unnecessarily dirty there. You've had changes, and you've been close. You need more, right? The difference there is Trent Dilfer's Ravens defense was historically great and one of the best ever. It's them and the Bears, right? 85 Bears team. Do we think this Cowboys defense is in that category? Because I don't think so. Chris B, wait to see Monday if we make trades or not. Don't disagree there either. We'll see how it all plays out, but the tough part is the trade deadline's too early. It's too early for you to really know. I wish it was 2 weeks back there. Super chat from Mark, Tom, big aloha. I got that banner. So nice of you. Oh, Mark, you earned that one for being our MVP. I don't remember. Was it week 2? I don't remember what week it was, but Mark, you had earned that one. Thank you, my friend. Duncan Hallman. Dak Prescott can call the plays in the preseason. Let him call his own plays. Get Mecole Hardman, put him at X, CD at the slot, Brandin Cooks at the Y, Lipke and Pollard in the backfield. Still got to use tight ends, at least somewhat. But that's a fun package at least, right? I got ahead of myself. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I think the solution, or if your solution is let the quarterback call his own plays, I don't think that works unless you're like Manning. Dak ain't Manning. That's still a coaching issue at its core. From Raging Tom Downey, I assume this is a revamped version of the Tom Downey burner account. I don't even know what caused that one. That was definitely late in the game. I think it's 2019 all over again. I started out 3-0, got dropped by the Jets and the Bears. I could be wrong. I don't think it feels that similar because your offense was good that year. That 2019 offense, the bells and whistles, the motion stuff was different than what we'd seen before. I don't think it's that similar. I think your offense was much better. Now, hopefully your offense gets going against the Chargers this upcoming Monday night. We will be live for that game. Great job going from the Raging Tom Downey. I get very emotional during Cowboys games, and I will be in a bad headspace if the offense looks like shit again. Hit that sub button and make sure you tune in right here on the Cowboys Report. Daniel Moriarty. Broncos are in fire sale mode right now. I'm wondering what we need for them to improve our offense. I'm still getting Surtain, but open to adding Garett Bolles. My concern here is that outside of like a Hall of Fame quarterback that you could add to this offense that fits what Mike McCarthy wants to do, I think that what you are trying to do on offense just isn't going to work. Now, if you still want to add talent, sure. Like I'm down to add Garett Bolles. I don't think this is a player thing right now. Like I think this is a bit more of a coaching thing. I really wish you had Brandin Cooks last year on offense and better Tolbert and better Gallup, and I wonder how it would have looked differently, if at all. From Ricky, I think the plan is for the Cowboys, when Dan Quinn goes into the head coaching gig somewhere else, promote one of your internal guys, go hire somebody else. Like, I like Dan Quinn. I do. I do think we overhype him a little bit right now. We make a big deal about, your offense can't beat good defenses. Your defense hasn't fared well against good offense either. That's kind of how football tends to go, but I can't sacrifice getting the change I think is needed to keep Dan Quinn. At least that's how I feel currently. We're in the middle of the season. Check in again in a month, 2 months, 3 months. But maybe you just promote, Joe Witt or something to your DC. Prize Picks. Today's show, they made it all possible. We appreciate their support here. And if you haven't already got going with them, you need to. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and you watch the winnings roll in. It is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America. Here are my picks this week. Hopefully I don't look dumb I went with the flex post week. I took the coward's way out. Trevor Lawrence, more than passing yards. Kenneth Walker, at least one rushing score. And Cooper Kupp, more than receiving yards. I'll probably do a Cowboys-Chargers only one, but I don't feel confident right now to make my picks there. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comments and the description. Again, that's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. Brody Dawson, can the Cowboys make the playoffs or should they tank for Caleb Williams? The schedule is not easy. Again, I really think in hindsight we're going to go, you missed an opportunity last year. But I think you should still be a playoff team. Unless your offense just really is a dumpster fire and it's just like Green Bay 2018 all over again. As for Caleb Williams, you need that number 1 overall pick. I think you have already too many wins to get there. Genuinely, I think you could lose every game and maybe you get the number 1 overall pick. Maybe. So predict the Cowboys record this year. What do you think they'll end up finishing at? Now, we had 12 and 13 win projections earlier. I don't think any of us are feeling that right now. Sound off in the comments. From Mark, I'm not a fan of Dak, but we have to keep it real. How can we regress with a healthier Gallup in addition to Cooks and Pollard over Zeke? Head coach blows. This is where I am at as well. There's plenty of blame to go around, including your players. Like, I would love to know who's designing your red zone offense, by the way, because last year it was Doug Nussmeier. And if you gave that over to Scott Tolzien, the quarterback's coach again, that's kind of a weird decision. I'm not sure Gallup's all the way back, but you added Cooks. You're not using him right at all. This scheme, I hate it. I hate it. It's different than the Garett scheme, but the issues you're causing they're still there. Mark, why stand at that cost? It's the Jalen Ramsey trade package. That's the caliber of player I think you'd be getting. Need a linebacker, aging O-line. Mize is a question mark. Hakens is aging. Diggs will be back. We need picks for players. Let's see how your next few weeks go. It's tough for me to punt on a season where I still think, although I have doubts about how far you'll go, it's tough for me to punt on a playoff team in the middle of that. Leroy, what was then the use in trading for Cooks if McCarthy isn't going to use him? Trade one play at the deadline, who would it be? Trade 4 or trade away? Cooks first. I don't know. You should use him on in-breaking stuff, and they don't. They just refuse to do it. Nothing for you out there. Cheap, realistic name like a Jordan Hicks, linebacker, like to help your run defense. Just cheap, realistic. Trade away. I don't know. Can anyone want Gallup? I'm kind of getting there. Cowboys Report by Charles in Charge. What do you think Chicago quarterback Jaylon Johnson would cost us? Maybe a second rounder, somewhere in that range. Not Jeremy Tugs' burner account. If we lose to the Rams and Chargers on our offense, it's bad. Do we got the team? I know Jerry won't, but should we? I was going to answer Jerry won't. Can make an argument for it, right? I think my issue is I don't think you should gut the team. But if you have veterans or guys that aren't going to be with you next year, trade them. Shop them. That one I can get on board with there. Dak doesn't suck. Get a new play caller, and all of a sudden he deeply regresses. Okay. It's also not just Dak that's regressed. Almost every player on your offense is off to a career worst statistical start, outside of like Jake Ferguson, who like has no numbers to compare to. Again, if it was just Dak who was bad, I'd be like, okay, this might be really bad for the quarterback. But it's not. It's everything. And the change was the play caller. Brian Parson, I'm not a Dak fan, but the biggest problem with this team is the Jerry culture. The culture Jerry created is terrible. Jalen said if the owner ain't tripping, we good. Every player the last 20 years believes it. He's cooking. Brian, I think you're absolutely right. Like we are, I think, at the point where this team just doesn't. It's the country club culture. It's a real problem. Chris B, Broncos Fiosel traded 2 for Peyton for OC. Not quite how it works, but it's funny. Intelligent, this is not Madden. You guys are looking to pick in the 3rd round for the first time in 2024 NFL draft. So no, we are not trading for no one. Oh, you mean you want to trade your first second? Okay, I get it. It's fair.